So, welcome to the pod, Howie Smiles.
What are you saying? I just spilled some water down myself.
Can't see it.
Nobody saw anything.
First of all, introduce yourself.
Yes.
How do they find you? What kind of music do you do? You know, just give us a little bit about you.
All right. So, my name is Howie Smiles. One of the members of Avian City. You can check us on our socials, Avian_City on Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, all of that stuff. We're going to be having a show coming up on the 7th of March. So, please, at a Rocksteady in Dawson. So, if you're available, £10 a ticket, pull up and see what we're about. It's going to be sick. 7th of March. Yeah, so that's just it.
Love that.
Remember, we talked so much about you guys having a show.
Yeah, I know. Like, for the longest time, I was telling you, like, last year how I envisioned being on the show and stuff. And then out of the blue, it just happened, like, I think like a month ago. We dropped a song in November called Zine, and I got a good response. And then, like, a couple of weeks ago, this guy just popped up. Yeah, I heard Zine. And we got a showcase. And, like, out of the blue, in my DM. So I'm thinking, this is spam. Like, I'm going to ignore this. But I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, yeah, whatever. Just give him a short reply. Like, oh, yeah, I'm ready for the show whenever, you know. And then he was like, I listened to Zine again, which is not it's not an automated message at this point. So he was like, yeah, it's really sick. I think it would fit in the showcase. And then before I know it, in an email chain, like, we have to do this promotion, I have to send this video, getting, like, the physical tickets to our house. And like, we really got a showcase going on. So, man, yeah, it was crazy how these things work, but... You know.
What's been the experience from, like, saying when you guys started doing music to, like, this stage right here? Like, do you feel a sense of, yes, this is what we've been working towards? Or... To give advice to anyone that's, like, trying to just do something outside the box or to do anything creative, it's just you start and you get so excited. At the start, you can envision, like, you know, like, hundreds of people at the shows and stuff, dropping all of these mixtapes, getting all of these reviews and stuff. And then when you begin, it's like, there's barriers and then there's like an obstacle course, you know, and that's what it feels like with music. Like, there's just so many things that you don't even see, so many pitfalls and all this stuff. Like, we've been trying to iron out for like over a year now. Yeah. So like last year was supposed to be like, oh, we got all this tape out, all this stuff. But any advice to anyone that's trying to like do music or anything is just be aware that when you first start, that's not going to be the start. It's going to be like 6 months later, 9 months later, until things really start picking up. Right. So you need to go through like the dirt. That's the best way to describe it, because it just feels like hopeless work. You know, you're just working for no reason, you know? So, but yeah, that's what I say. I hear that. It feels like it's coming together.
Wow. Wow, you have a show coming up. Like, this is news to me.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys about the showcase I did at a Christian event?
Wow.
At a church.
Let's hear it.
It's like 2 years ago.
Wait.
I remember this story. Yeah, I want to hear it again.
So you've heard my music, right? You know there's like a bunch of swear words and a lot worse,
It's not exactly Christian.
It's not the
Christian mingle music, you know?
You would put it in your Christian playlist. So we were at the point we were just trying to find any open mics available, and we had like, this one opportunity. I think Ty or Danzito came through with it. He was like, this opportunity is gonna be sick. Yeah, check out. We'll sign it up. We'll send it off. I get the flyer in my email. I see one like big cross on the flyer. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know, like, you know, Christian, but you know, maybe they do rap events on the side.
Okay.
I'm trying to be optimistic.
Okay.
We get to the venue. It's a legit church, a big church, like big cross on the outside. It's like cool, you know. You know, maybe they're just renting the venue out or whatever.
I love the way, you know, you're like, maybe it's just
anything else.
Anything.
It's like, because we're like, we're already here, you know, we already got our set ready.
Right.
When we go in, we see the guy with like the church collar. He was like, yes,
the church collar.
Oh, wow. The collar of the Christians, yeah. And then he came and was like, welcome to the venue, you know. I'm glad that you've been willing to help with our youth service and stuff like that. And we're like, oh, so this is part of the service? When we got there, no.
Okay.
I mean, the crush should have been a sign, but we get there, right, okay, so, they're like, okay, thank you for having us. When the guy goes, it's like, yo, we got like, I say like, the F word like for a minute throughout the song. Like, we need to chop these songs, start getting rid of like 70% of the songs that we're gonna perform. They only have like 2.5 songs left.
Oh my goodness.
And then I'll never forget. We're performing out, and then there's this one auntie like right at the front. Like he's someone who cooks his stacks after like someone integrated in the community. Yeah, so right at the front, and then we're rapping, and then her face does not change. It gets like more and more sour. And then just sitting there like no joke, man. It's like
in front of you as well.
Yeah, and we just had to rap through it. So yeah, we were like, the moment we went off stage, we were like, that was terrible. But people started coming up to us like, yeah, that was a good set.
The youth, right?
Yeah, the youth, the young people that could say, the way that was really sick. Yeah.
Them ones they can't appreciate it too tough.
No, they can't say too much.
Congregation.
Give you the nod in it as you go. Yeah.
Wow, imagine.
That was interesting.
I'm really interested to see what other stories like that you have to add to this journey of yours.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm really excited to see how this transforms in like a year's time, or even 6 months' time, or even 2 years' time.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued to see like the type of music that we're making, because I feel just with the climate of music now, like J Hus's album, right? It went like UK #1, and it's not a commercial album.
No.
Like in the slightest.
No.
Like classic jazz bass and all this thing. So it's like, it's basically opening the lane for whatever type of music you do, as long as you're the best at it, then, you know, so it's really, you know, let's see what happens.
Right.
Yeah. Did you guys like J Hus's album?
I did. I do.
No doubt.
I've been playing it. I was playing it for Linda on the way here. I play it for Jade whenever she's in my car.
Yeah, the helicopter.
That's not my favourite.
Oh,
I've heard every single one, every song, but it's not my favourite.
That sounds cold, man. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but
I mean, it's all down to, the individual, so I'm not stepping on his toes. If that's your favourite, that's great. Support the artist. I don't think I have a favourite even.
My favourite was the one that you played me, I think, at the end.
Coffee, yeah.
Repete. That one, 100% a bit of me.
For me, it might be Fortune Teller. Which is random.
Oh, it's a banger though. That's a banger.
Yeah, I hadn't listened to the album until you played it. I always try to, like, when everyone wants to listen to an album at the same time, I'm just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but for some artists, you just have to listen to it straight away.
I keep the same
the moment
energy.
you hear it's been
wild, man. Everyone get the CM energy. You artists, them UK artists, them African artists, them everyone. Every artist, no artist gets special treatment. I'll listen when I'm good and ready.
Another thing with albums, you need to stay away from social media, because
they'll ruin it for you.
That will sway your opinion, man. I'll sway your opinion.
It's true.
And a lot of people just listen to albums just to get their point across on social media as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
So that's what like kind of devalues the listening experience. Like, I remember when J Hus's album drops, and all of a sudden people are coming up with like sentences that they literally just heard.
Yeah.
And already like ready for the caption on the Insta.
Right.
Already ready, like, let me listen to the fucking album before I know what you're talking about.
I appreciate it.
Like, do you know what I mean? There's too much.
I don't know. I can't really agree.
Appreciate good art for good art.
I'm the type, I'll listen to his album, or I'll listen to anyone's music, even like, for example, Megan's, like that song I played you, yeah? The lyrics, what song was it?
B-I-T-C-H.
Yeah. The lyrics literally was speaking my story. They were speaking my story. So it wasn't even like I was using the lyric. If I put it on my Instagram, I wouldn't be using it. It's like, you just put words I didn't know I had to put together.
Yeah. Yeah. Not everyone's like that though.
I know.
Someone talk about drip, 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 and then
exactly.
Drippiest,
like it's like quoting lyrics, like quoting Future, like, oh yeah, it's been a long time since I've been shifting that cocaine or something on Instagram.
Yeah,
it's like what?
Then it's your caption for a church photo.
So you see that story you were talking about?
What story?
That song by Megan. You saying it relates to your story?
Yeah.
Like how so?
How
is it too hot?
I was very intrigued. It's not too hot. It's just dealing with guys these days.
Yeah.
Or as in at my place in life as of right now. I'm not gonna I'm not swearing, first of all. That's why I'm trying to find a good way to say this. But I'm not going to sacrifice how I feel in the situation so that you're cool.
You're not gonna sacrifice.
So I'd rather be like the one to tell you how it is.
Okay.
Because that's what you'll call me anyway.
Oh, so
like it.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about in terms of dating, you're gonna just be yourself completely.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah, in terms of guys, that's what that song would. Yeah, that's what that song channels through me. My story in dating today, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's important for a lot of people to do, but it's easier said than done. I mean, for me personally,
100% easier.
When I date someone, I want to appease to that person, especially if I like them. Like whatever that person appreciates, like, oh yeah, I like to watch water polo on the weekends. Like, oh yeah, that's my favorite sport. Like, I know it's a rough example, but it's just you try to adjust for that person instead of just being yourself straight.
Doesn't it end up being a trap for yourself though?
It does. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
That's
like
something that you learned.
That's something like people, me included, should do, but it's not the easiest thing to do because, like, it's just a bit awkward when you're talking with someone and then you drop a bomb that they don't appreciate, and it's a bit like, oh, and then you kind of try to talk through it, but now it's like an elephant in the room type of thing. Does that make sense?
I think I get your angle in like you want to please that person, but not even like with pleasing them in mind. It's just like you want to be able to talk about things that you like and get along.
And I want everything to be smooth with no tension.
Yeah, like just like a nice transition to getting to know each other.
Yeah.
But like the interesting thing about like the human story is that we all have our different opinions. Our different opinions makes our different interactions more interesting.
Right.
You know, that's something that we should all like learn. Although like it's nice to like get along and
all have the same interests and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
differences is also cool.
Difference is fun.
Because you just save so much time later on because...
Otherwise it's like, oh, but you said from the jump that you like this as well. So why are you acting like you don't like it now?
Like for me...
Not so much.
I didn't really like it. I just liked you and you liked that. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that actually ties in. I remember I caught myself in a lot of situations because I would be easily influenced. Like you were saying earlier, do I easily get influenced by the person I'm with in a relationship? And the answer is yes, but not on core value type stuff.
Yeah,
more
that's
on
the
like,
thing, right?
you know what, you like this? Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and like it too.
Yeah.
Just so we have more
core
common.
values is one thing, but just being able to operate in terms of compatibility is another thing. So those subtle things that you may not think is a big deal, and for you to be like, oh yeah, I like that thing too, or whatever. Later on, that will catch you up in the day by day, like the daily interaction type thing. Yeah. Because like core values is one thing. That is like easy to talk about, and it doesn't always come up in conversation. Like I don't know, like religion or something like that. Yeah. It's not gonna come up in conversation all the time. But for example, like hobbies and stuff. If you guys, if you try to fake the hobby appreciation at the start, then you're gonna get caught out later on when you guys are dating, going to watch the same like trying to watch the same like theater. Exactly. Oh yeah, let's go to watch Dreamgirls or whatever. You know.
I feel you, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So what's been your experiences with dating?
They've been good. They've been cool. But right now, I just want to take a break from all of that. I want to go solo. I want to like become a monk for a little bit.
A monk? Yeah, okay.
Monk Smiles.
Yeah, I don't feel like...
What would that mean? What does that look like, becoming a monk? Like, what would you say?
Yeah, for the weekends. Like, just having alone time.
Okay.
Just having alone time. Just having time to invest in myself, seeing, like, what's going wrong in my life right now that can get distracted by. Because I remember in my last relationship, I felt, even if shit was going wrong, just because I had this one aspect in my life that was sorted, I felt like I was okay, kind of. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like, at least I had a partner that I take pride in, and like as long as I maintain this relationship, I can take pride in myself when other things are slacking in my life. So I would like spend extra time with my ex, trying to go see her, trying to please her, not even being too happy with the situation. In the meanwhile, like my music is slacking, just my general organization, and I couldn't see that. Because I was just trying to. Because relationships are just work. Yeah, exactly. It's like a...
Sorry, I didn't mean to...
You know, but it's real. Like, they're a lot. They're a lot, so...
Linda, are you right?
It's just like, yep.
Yep.
You good?
The church said, yep.
Yeah.
Put you guys in the hot seat. Have you guys been dating or...
Linda?
No.
Me, no. No, I've come out of a long relationship.
Yeah.
This last year. In fact, I was going to say this year, 2019. At the beginning of 2019.
And do you feel like you've grown a lot since then?
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like most of my growth was in the first 2 months of being single. And then, yeah, since then, it's just been focusing on me every week. Waking up and I'm the first person in my head. And going to sleep and I'm the last person I think about. That, you know?
I think it's important. Like, I feel young relationships can kind of take you away from trying to figure out who you are. Yeah. In like a sense. Because with my previous relationship, I felt I was growing, but I was growing into, I don't know, into like a caricature of what I'm expected to be.
Like someone that you didn't, like someone that you can't even connect or relate to.
Exactly.
Like yourself.
Like, I was trying to build up this this image of myself, which was taking work, but at the same time now being all by myself and like holding myself accountable as opposed to holding myself to someone else's standards. I'm beginning to realize that I didn't actually appreciate this thing so much, or I actually need to work on this thing more and stuff like that. And I wouldn't have realized that because instead of trying to please me, I was trying to please another person. Else,
right.
So, I think that's soul searching, basically. That's what I'm doing. Like Monk Smiles, trying to search for something.
Soul search.
Trying to figure something out.
How about you, Linda?
How about me?
Okay, cool.
No, what about me though?
I mean, we're all answering, you know, that dating this year or where we're at.
So, just came out of a long-term relationship, like this end of last year now. And I think my case was different. Like, it depends on how the relationship ends. Leads to how you deal with the breakup after. And if you've already found yourself, like myself, in a situation where you've started to detach from before the relationship has ended, then it makes after, well, in my case, it's made after much easier. And then you don't really particularly feel like you're mourning a relationship. It's just like the start of me, like the ending of my relationship felt like the start of my story.
Right. That typically is how it is for women though, isn't it?
Is it?
If a woman breaks up with the other half, then you would have mentally have broken up.
I feel like the case for men as well.
Before the actual conversation of we should probably split up.
Yeah.
Because that's the same with me. I had more or less detached a good few months before.
Well, I feel like it's more, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the guy or the girl. I think it more has to do with the type of breakup.
Okay.
Like, as in, when if like everything's going smoothly, or at least if everything's functioning, then the person that's going to start the breaking up has already come to terms with it for a long time. Yeah. That's what I feel like. Whereas if there's like if it comes down to a big fight or someone was cheating or something like that, then it can just kind of like end like that. And then you're both just in limbo. And like,
you guys have that shock value. So I think it's much better like when you end it on a very calm note. Yeah. And the discussions have been had, you know. I think it's much
I mean, healthier. It's arguably the best and there's no good way to break up. Yeah. But at the same time, just going through that type of breakup when everything is going smooth for the other person is like way worse in some senses. Yeah. It's like
very sudden.
We can go through it, we can work, we can change all this thing. And like personally, I just felt like even more of a bad guy than if there was a situation where it blew up, where I could point to saying that's why. But
you know, you have to.
But what made me feel good about the situation...
I don't want to say it.
No, but I think what made me feel good about the situation, or what made me feel at ease, is that, okay, cool, even if someone doesn't like you that much for breaking up with them, like, you're going to be a villain in someone's story, like, regardless of the way you say it. But at the end of the day, ultimately, you have to think about yourself, you know? You have to think about, am I, in this relationship, am I growing into somebody that I like? Yeah. Yeah. Have I lost touch with myself? Yeah. At the end of the day, I turned around and I was like, do you know what? I can't even really recognize myself. I've muted a lot of like my core person and like the things that I really love. Yeah, and exactly. There's just so many things that I just know. And then I think it's different from what stage that you get into a relationship from. Yeah, because I started my relationship from when I was quite young. Growing up, you realize that you're growing into different people. or the person that you originally fell in love with isn't particularly the person that you pictured them to be. So it's not really
or
their
the person
fault
that they presently are in the relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
You grow up and you think, okay, cool, like, where is this going? Is it heading this direction? Okay, am I satisfied with where it is?
Yeah.
If you've tried to solve whatever problems that you think is going on, and then it's just not being solved, and you're not feeling happy and you're feeling like you're in limbo, then just leave.
So would you give advice to someone out there in a relationship, they've been with someone for a very long time, and they feel like they've grown apart?
Leave.
To leave.
Nah, I wouldn't advise that.
Leave.
I wouldn't advise that. Why would you advise that?
Why would I advise that? Because at the end of the day, it's very nice to look and say, oh, I've been with this person for, say, for example, 10 years, you know? Is it that you want to continue having that gem? Like, oh, I've known this person for so long.
Like, based on the history.
Based on history, over how that person makes you feel.
Yeah.
If you bring something to the table, like, this is how such and such makes me feel, this is how this and this makes me feel, and that person doesn't respect that, or doesn't act like they respect your feelings, doesn't act like they acknowledge your feelings, going forward you can see how they would act in different situations.
Yeah, exactly.
Just think, why would I mute my happiness for the rest of my life
well, it's just the fact
over a small uncomfort that I could have now? Because what is 10 years of your life compared to the rest, like the 70 plus years that you could be with someone else?
But
that's
what would
big.
Why would you say not to leave?
Firstly, like, that is a big point. Like, I agree with you, and I feel like what we're going to argue, you might agree with me as well, but it's going to be case by case.
Yeah, 100%.
But I just think that being able to have that foresight of knowing that even though it's sustainable now, per se, sustainable, that like 5 years, 10 years later, it's going to be just violent. Just having that, being able to project takes a lot of bravery, but at the same time, the reason why I would say you can still fight around it is because it's just a projection. That's all it is. Like, you can't really account for what the future's going to be. I mean, like, you and I both know someone that's been able to turn it around, so you know what I'm saying. So just cases like that, like, and he was able to turn it around by laying all of his chips on the table and saying, like, even though this seems hopeless, this is why it seems hopeless, and then being able to work through that. Yeah. But I think it's
not
really
everyone has a partner that they can communicate with all, because I definitely did that, you know, all cards on the table, blah, 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 blah. And then if at the end of the day, the other person isn't responding to that, then what can you do?
Then it's time to go.
So I definitely agree with you. Like, there's times where it can definitely be rectified.
Yeah.
You know? The answer doesn't have to be no. But like, when a girl makes a decision that it's time to leave, she's had to think about this
for a while,
a million times over in her
just
head.
Confirm it. Yeah.
Am I making the right decision? Why would I? You know, at the end of the day, like, it's someone that you love. It's someone that you've chosen to be with.
Someone that you have history with, and someone that, that's the issue with dating again. It's just like being able to build an empire again. That's like one of the main reasons why. Just knowing what it took for me to get to that position in the first place. It's like, I'm chilling, bro. I'm just making my music.
Doing my own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest things about coming out of a relationship. Even though it's like a hard journey, I feel out of all of the things you could do in order to know yourself in terms of a relationship, I feel like going through a breakup is one of the best things you can do. Because like afterwards, you have like, you might not have the I want list, but you definitely have the I don't want list. And from the I don't want list, you can like kind of infer. Like literally nothing else but a breakup. Then like before, it's like, I don't know what I want. After a breakup, you're like, okay, I want this. I don't want this.
I don't want
this. And it's important. It's important to know these things. It's important because you feel like you know yourself. You really don't know yourself at fucking, you know, when you're a teenager. You don't know yourself.
You don't.
You still got a lot to learn. Like all of the people that are around me that are like 10 years plus, they're saying you need to learn about yourself. You need to go through a couple of these experiences. Obviously, I'm not supposed to, like a lot of these folks are single now. I'm not trying to, you know, be the single, you know, couple hopper or whatever. But at the same time, they're right. Like I felt like I've learned the most about myself in terms of relationships after going through one. So
in terms of learning about yourself after a relationship, because I remember definitely after this breakup, I realized, especially like, you know how all of us guys were like the person that like ended things, like
I don't know your but
like,
oh my God.
I remember sitting down after myself and I was like, well, I'm definitely not playing the blame game here. I can't, like, it definitely wasn't like 100% that person. It was definitely me too. And it was like for me, it's like a compatibility thing, really. But same. Like, has it made you walk away from the relationship thinking, okay, what about myself? Would I need to change for a future relationship to work?
Yeah.
Like, made you look within yourself. Like,
it made me realize that I need to be more of myself. Like what I was talking about, the whole dating thing. Like one of the biggest things is that, and it's a misconception that you feel like in order to please your partner the most you can, you have to just appease to that person, like do what they want and just always be there when you need it and stuff.
But really, it's not the case.
Exactly. You're not really given a true representation of yourself. You're just given a representation of what that person wants.
Of what you think.
Exactly. And that's not sustainable for a long time. So even though it's harder and you're going to seem like an arsehole to more people, you need to just be yourself from the start. You need to be like, I like this, I don't like this. Just save so much time, so much investment, so much money that you spend on each other.
I mean, we don't spend no money, but I know.
I spent so much money, it was crazy. Yeah. Like for our first anniversary, I took her to the Lion King and it was front row. And I took her to dinner first. And let's just say that, could have went on a holiday with that type of money,
Just down the
drain. rolling down the drain.
That was so rookie, That was so rookie. I could have taken her out for a nice dinner. It would have been,
We live and we learn.
Exactly. Don't spend. I'm not even going to say the number. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be sick if I say it. I want to say it. No, I'll say it off air.
Yeah, later. All
right.
I want to know.
Stupid.
So going forth, Howard, what kind of girl do you picture for yourself? What would be your ideal person?
Oh, they're good with the questions over there.
I love questions.
The fact that we need to release this is making me sweat. But
I feel you, man. Even me, I don't want the question to fly my way.
Because I've been thinking to myself, in order to picture what you don't want in a person, it's nice to picture at least the closest to what you want.
Because I would think it's, okay, how I see it is I've got my must never, like I don't want to see. My red flags I can't work with. But I don't have a yes pile, almost. Like I think
it's good to keep the yes broad.
Yeah, like for me, I get along with so many different kinds of people with so many
there's different types, and when you have a different connection
combinations of personality traits and things that I couldn't.
So it's a thing where you don't want to lock yourself off, kind of thing.
You don't. Well, you don't. You really don't.
You
really don't. Yeah, because there's just many different types of people that you can vibe with for different ways. Like I feel like if you have a not list, you can't really F with the not list. Yeah. As in like you don't want these traits in a person, but in terms of what you want,
what are the traits that you want in a person?
Yeah, just for the sake of entertainment purposes, we'll go ahead and do what you do. You go first. I'm joking.
I'll go last.
What do I want?
Okay, so talking.
Are we doing like cores or just nice to have?
Anything like
anything important,
anything important to you, like anything that you would identify in a possible potential other half, and be like, do you know what? I really like this about you. And I can see me and you being together forever.
Forever.
Or at least for like 20 years. Fuck it.
20 years should do it. I'm good. I need someone that I can talk to for long periods of time and it still feels fresh. Just like being able to match my just my weird thought processes and stuff, because I don't really watch series, I don't really watch sports and stuff, so we kind of just have to like talk about life, and someone that's able to maintain that with me for like a lot, just so I can come home and like be excited to talk to someone. That's a big thing. Sex is quite important as well. That's like
we are adults. Sex is very important. Sex is very important.
Yeah, but it's like more important than you think. It's more important than you think.
Absolutely, sex is important.
Having sexual tension there is like just, I think it sustains the relationship a lot more.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
It's something you don't like appreciate at first, like, because you don't want to put too much weight into like aesthetics and just stuff like that. But it's actually like a big thing, like when there's not much to talk about, the sexual vibe gets you through the whatever. So,
Really?
I think so. I think like having like just like a lovey-dovey vibe.
Yeah.
Having like the romantic vibe, because there's gonna be days where you guys ain't got nothing to talk about.
That definitely.
But there has to be some form of tension that keeps you guys excited while you guys are around each other.
I was reading a study, and it was like how the best, longest relationships for like ever apparently they're the ones that you can be the most boring with your partner. Like, you don't always have to be doing something exciting.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
It makes so much sense,
but it's
right?
not sustainable. It's not sustainable. For 40 plus years, how are you going to keep something fresh coming?
Other things happen in your life, though.
Yeah.
But at least if you can be the most, like, if you can be boring together, like, just sit in a room, chill, and watch TV, just do
relaxed,
nothing.
be comfortable, be
in silence, no TV, and you're
perfect, done.
Yeah.
But some people always got to be doing something, talking about something.
These days, yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm one of them right now. And my mind is literally jumping from thing to thing, and then I'm with someone in the room, and I feel like we should be jumping topics together.
Yeah.
But that's a recent thing with this life of mine. But I feel you. And I get what you're saying with the sex being important, but I don't agree with it.
I feel like
taking you over the rough patches.
So what else is important to you in a relationship?
I think those are the most important things. Like, the whole thing's about loyalty and stuff. I think that kind of develops with love. If you love someone enough, then you do all of that stuff anyway. But I feel like compatibility, like conversation and stuff, having more or less the same hobbies, like every week. Like, you guys can like chill and like watch a film if that's what you guys like to do, or get a drink if that's what you guys like to do.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be one of those cases where you're like, oh, you're chilling with your girl and then you're like, okay, I want to chill with my friends because now I want to chill out for real type of thing, you know? It shouldn't be like a break
from
exactly. Whoa. It shouldn't be like, I need a break.
It's such a common story nowadays.
Yeah.
So many guys can't stand to be with their partners because it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
I've done enough of you.
Like, if you're real from the front, if you're real from the start and like you're yourself from the start, you would avoid this whole situation. Yeah. You know?
You'd have someone you genuinely vibe with.
Yeah, exactly. So it shouldn't be an issue. It would be your friend, innit?
Yeah, like you're genuinely friends with.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you even get yourself in that situation where you're done, you go past the whole romantic stage, and then it comes to that point where you're like going to your girl's house and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is so long.
I'm gonna go see my boys right after this.
Yeah, exactly. Watching the clock while you're at your... You can't be clock watching when you're at your girls.
Making the calls and all that. Nah, man, messy. Chayo, how about you?
What's the question?
So what are some of the nice qualities that you identify in someone that you'll be like, oh, I can see you being like something that I really like about you that I can see in a future partner? Some of the qualities in people that you genuinely look for now.
Just easy conversation. Or like someone that's easy to just be myself around.
Yeah.
Like,
easy going.
Yeah. Oh, no, you don't have to be easygoing as a person.
Oh.
With other people. But with me, somehow it works.
Just want to feel relaxed.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't mind being tense at the beginning because I'm all butterflies or I'm uncomfortable or whatnot.
Yeah.
But easy to talk to, easy to just get along with. Yeah, kind of thing. I can't think of anything else really.
But is sex not at the top of your priority list?
It's something a child doesn't want to talk about.
This is not really
air.
like.
Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about it after, you know what I'm saying? Them eyes.
When we, till then. And now, honesty, those things.
Yeah, honesty
all the cliche things.
Should be rudimentary.
What about you?
What about me?
Just shifting it quick,
Hot potato.
I think now it has to be someone that we like similar things in common.
Okay. Like what things?
Music, shows. I don't know, just general things. I'm not saying that like we have to like the exact same things, but it will help. Do you know what I mean? What else? You have to be nice to me. Even if you're horrible to everyone. But I want someone to be very, very nice.
Romantic.
Romantic.
Keep it spicy.
Lovely.
Which is another thing as well.
Yeah. I want you to I want you to be very romantic with me. I'm a very like softy, lovey-dovey person. And I need to feel lovey-doved.
Lovey-dove.
And I refuse to be with anyone that won't show me lovey-dove.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
What else going forward? Someone that, you're nice to me, you adore me.
It's a big thing though. It's another thing that helps sustain a relationship. Like, remember when I was saying you don't want to fall in the same pattern? or whatever. That's another thing just doing the same like routine like once a week. Needs to keep it spicy.
Yeah, someone that I can do adventurous things with. I don't want to be just sat indoors. Like if I want to go up and like go for a walk or something or do something. In my past relationship. Yeah, same. Like I need.
That's a problem, right?
The first year, okay, we were here and there. After that, it was more or less the same.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Married couple vibes, like the marriage.
Yeah, but even so, even if I'm married, like you think I'm just gonna be indoors just watching television for the rest of my life?
I mean, that's all I was exposed to of what married couples did.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Not saying that's what they do. But
yeah.
That's why.
But fuck that. That is definitely.
Sure, you'll have loads of like quiet moments and chilled moments, but I want to explore with my partner. I want to do fun things.
You have to.
Yeah, it keeps life spicy.
Plus,
especially
so important.
before you have kids. And like your life changes, enjoy your life.
Yeah, because when the kids come, that's a new adventure every day.
Yeah.
But like before that comes,
I think in terms of emotionally, or something that I look for in a person.
Oh, emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
I need someone emotionally
intelligent. Right. Yeah, that's a big pitfall for men.
You need to be.
It is.
But
that's a big pitfall for men.
They're rare.
They've got the emotions. Even like I like to generally pride myself as more emotionally intelligent than the average man or whatever. However,
we like to hear it.
However, there's still times where I'm like, I'm just looking like a fool, and you just stand like, what? Like, oh, we got here. So that still happens. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a must-have, but it's like a plus.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so happy to find this.
Yeah.
Like having the ability to adapt if you don't see it at first as well. So if your girl says, "Oh, I don't like this," or "This made me feel this type of way," and you're like, "Okay, I don't really understand, but I'll adjust for you anyway." Like like when you go to a party with your other half, and then you're probably like being loud or whatever, and your girl's like giving you the eyes, like like cut that shit out. But you're not really reading it. You're not reading it until she's like, "Howard, I don't appreciate the way you made me feel, and I don't feel comfortable." When you're in that situation next time, being able to adjust
to what was previously expressed.
Exactly. Instead of saying, "I don't even get it," like she just complaining and stuff. You don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
Why you give me that?
What was the time that you felt like that? Like
no,
because you said that sentence looked like it was slapping you, like.
Slap Michael.
Unfortunately, I was going through a phase where I felt like I could not change the person, but for example, being in the party and then giving them the eyes across the room, you're being too loud or like you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Doing too much. Like what do you define as doing too much?
Maybe you're being the party clown.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I'm not cool with it. Like, come on, man. That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
But that's you. That's how you are as a person.
Yeah.
I can't
change that.
I can't tell you to not be yourself. Do you know what I mean? So that's what was hitting. That's what I was trying to say. And obviously now I've learned, it's cool. Do you? But back then I was really trying to like, come on, man. When we go out, come on, man, chill out, man. Just exist. Don't be the show.
So does that mean that now going forward that you'd go for someone that takes the back seat?
No, because that was my insecurities that I was putting into the relationship. Because I wouldn't want to be the spotlight of the day.
Very deep.
Yeah, that was me like doing up. Because if my boyfriend's up there making a spectacle of himself, at you. That's my boyfriend. Yeah. And then I'm not embarrassed, but I am
getting like the
I'm
eyes.
Feeling the heat.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me. He's his own person having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now obviously I'm like, it's cool. You're your own person.
That's another one as well. Like when you're in a couple and you go to like social events and then your other half is performing in like a way that you don't. Man.
And you have to just sit there.
You have to like, that's my girl.
Like,
that's my girl.
What's going on? And they're just like, that happens sometimes.
That's us.
Yeah. Even got to give him a fake laugh, like
it's
deep. It's
but after like, Linda, you go.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, but the whole emotional intelligence thing, like being able to read girls sometimes, it's hard, but it makes things a lot simpler as well.
Because not even read girls though.
It's not about reading.
It's not about because a real girl, a real woman,
a real woman.
Because we was doing a real man.
Yeah, before the last episode, I was like a real man. Now we're doing
a real woman will communicate how she feels. You don't have to read her mind.
Yeah,
ideally.
But I hear about I got a lot of case studies again where like the girls,
in London nowadays.
They feel and they don't say. You know what I'm saying? And then they hold, and then they explode later on.
Sound familiar?
Used to be me. Used to be me. That was me back in the trenches. Back in the days. If you knew me in my past, that was me. But
man, this is so hot, man.
I communicate. So I don't know what the other girls out there in the trenches are doing. But I communicate now. If you're worthy of my communication, of course, not just anyone needs to know how I feel. Right. But my other half, I would like to think if I was in a relationship tomorrow, would know within a timely manner, in a very relaxed way, how such and such felt for me or whatever the situation is. Yeah. And
I feel like in certain social situations, sometimes it's better to hold your tongue, but in a relationship, it's better to just say what's on your chest, no matter like how annoying or frequently.
Within a.
Well, this is the thing. I feel like
time and place, of course.
I get that. Like you can't, like when you're in a social situation, you kind of want the whole social thing to just go with the flow. So if someone says something that annoys you, you're not gonna just interrupt. Excuse me. Of course. However, in a relationship, like having that energy leads to, not being yourself later on, like holding that, like I'm not going to say anything. I want to just make sure he's happy or she's happy, that gets bad later on.
I feel you.
Yeah.
But I also don't. I don't.
Why don't you feel?
Like saying something there and then in a relationship, I'm not saying, when I say hold it, I don't mean hold it for a week or hold it for 2 days. I just mean hold it till maybe you've left that social setting that you're in. And just like, later on,
but I thought you meant it in the context of hold it until you find the right words that you want to assign to these feelings that you have. Like, when something happens in the moment. You shouldn't have to,
I don't feel like I have to package everything in the right way to give it to you.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I don't want to. That's what I mean by being easy going. I can't be out here, Linda's going to take this so bad if I don't.
Yeah, that's not a way to feel. That's not a way to feel.
What I mean by that is in, for example, we all get our feelings quite rawly. And then you have a raw way of expressing how you feel.
Masculine energy.
Yeah.
We will talk about masculine and feminine energy.
Okay. Yeah. So say for example,
us women, we need to level up.
Yeah.
Suppress that masculine energy of what was that? Oh, you were suppressing. Suppress that masculine energy of I need to pop off right now, or I need to tell you this right now in this raw way.
Yeah.
Almost.
But when I mean raw, I mean as in the rawest sense, as in, you've made me so pissed off, you've made me so angry, and it's not what have you done to make me feel this way, and what could have been helped, what you could have done in a different way, not just you're fucking pissing me off and what's wrong with you? You could have just said, what you said hurt my feelings, and you said A, B, and C. If you had said, do you know what I mean? Like the raw feeling is you pissed me off, you fucking prick, hate you.
And then the refined
bit is, this is what you've done to make me feel this way. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean by packaging what you say. You definitely need to find
some balance.
Like,
okay,
for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I see it with my mum and my dad sometimes, like when you're vexed, sometimes you just let something fly, like, don't leave the towels there or something like that. Yeah. But it's like way more aggressive than it needs to be.
Yeah. Because what you don't realize is when you're saying things in the heat of the moment, what you've said will never change. And sometimes people can forget what you've said, but it's the passion and the way you said it.
You hold it. It's in the back of your mind. You will remember
that feeling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
So your delivery is everything. And especially when it's your partner, someone that you love and someone that wants to feel safe around you generally, and you want to feel safe around them. I think it's just, these are things that you just need to tailor, like think about a bit more.
Yeah. Like my dad has said things that like to me, like out of the heat of the moment, where I'm like, yeah, it's cool, it's fine. Even I logically like talk with myself saying, yeah, it's fine, it's okay. But still, like later on, I have these thoughts. And it's like, why am I thinking like these negative thoughts about, and it'll be like, oh, because of that moment like months ago.
Right.
You know, so it gets interwoven in your subconscious.
Yeah.
Like, when you hear these things sometimes. So, yeah, you definitely need the balance between not too early, but not too late. But I think in a relationship, early is definitely better than late. I think so.
Always better than late.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing I'll always be grateful about my ex is because like I operate well under criticism. Like I feel like a lot of people don't, but I would just rather get it as quick and as bluntly as I can so I can adjust it as quickly. So much shade on the arrow.
I'm going through it over here. I'm trying to think, like when you say I operate well under criticism, I'm thinking, do I operate well under
I see.
But yeah.
So so that's just useful for me. And like one good thing about my ex is that she would always just, in the moment that she'd feel it, she wouldn't be able to hold it. So it might come off a bit raw, but at the same time, we can like work through problems like that. And like there's never like a build up of problems because we always deal with the problems.
Right. You know? That's really good.
Yeah, so that's it.
I wasn't too good with that. I would be the type to hold it in a little bit back in the day. Okay. Yeah.
Back in the day, I would hold it.
I wouldn't address it.
Yeah.
There and then.
When did you start to have a voice and like start to vocalize like when you felt things were going wrong?
When as in a date?
When as in within your relationship. Like, you know how, or did you hold it in like the whole time?
No, there was a switch. I don't know what triggered the switch of me changing over to it.
Did it take like a conversation or like you, as you grow up?
There was a lot of conversations based on me not addressing or dealing with the whole issue that would have brought. So he would come with the issue he's got, and then I would take the issue with me and like think on it. And then I wouldn't really come back with a full
resolution.
Right. I would just kind of, okay, we've discussed this.
Yeah. That's a problem. You can't do that. You can't do that.
But okay, and then it's kind of like, I don't know what to do.
Now it's in the air. Oh, okay.
But when the situation comes again, it will happen again.
Exactly. But that did come from our difference in upbringings. And this was, that's when this was highlighted to me. Because growing up, I never really expressed myself. In the sad times, only the happy times. But for him, everything was discussed in the family he came from. So that's one thing we worked on. Like, so even if I didn't want to talk about something, I'd be forced to sit there. We would talk it out, and I feel so much better after. He made it a thing that we'd have to hug it out as well to really.
Sometimes that doesn't even resolve it. Like trying to force saying like I love you at the end of an argument, it would help, but
I love you, man.
Yeah, no, but just like something at the end to like be like, okay, this is now sorted, but it's like kind of an artificial bringing to the end of the situation.
Yeah, that is artificial. I agree, but it's better than what would have been if it was left to just
like sit.
Just then
for
whatever.
Cool.
It's done.
Then
It's
you
done.
go and
I'm done talking about it. It's done. Jesus, cuz.
Yeah, man. Conflict resolution.
Yeah. Are you guys watching Love Island?
Yeah,
kind of.
Can you guys break down to me like why is it so? I think we talked about this.
Why is it
so like appealing? Like they're doing 2 seasons in a year now, right?
Yeah. So Love Island.
It's too much. Too much every day. It's too much. Too much commitment. Like the last one was interesting. Like the first third of it, and then I was like, I'm out.
But Love Island, Linda, tell us because I'm not into it like that. What's so appealing about it?
What's so appealing about Love Island? Well, yeah, we'll have this conversation one day. I think what's appealing about Love Island is that it appeals to the most like natural human curiosity and instincts that we have. You know, like who's talking to who, who's getting to know who, and what are they talking about? You know, it's things that we don't get to really see or experience in an educational way. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, you know what we were talking about with Jade earlier? Like, there's not enough of this, like, people learning how to communicate and stuff like that. And I feel like Love Island's actually a great way for people to learn how others communicate and maybe how to identify within yourself.
That's cool. That's a really good way.
It does seem like a big social experiment.
It looks like.
Yeah.
That's what I use it for.
Forced situation.
But it's
especially
great.
because of the games. I remember watching that episode 1 of this season, and I've never seen an episode 1 of Love Island, right? And I was looking at it cringing, thinking, how can this be something that entertains people? Because I couldn't deal. I don't even want to say why I couldn't do it because it's on air and people, nah, I can't. But
give them the smoke.
No, I couldn't because it was like, really? You're coupling up. You're saying no to someone's face. You're damaging self-esteems here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that Naz guy, I felt so bad. That's his name, right? I felt so bad.
Naz is coming through now. He's found a lovely, lovely girl, Demi.
And I'm probably thinking it's deeper than it is because for these guys, it's probably not that deep.
Yeah,
you know, but
I think
true.
Love Island's just a great way to see how people interact with each other and to just. I don't
interact with each other. I remember the dancing one as well. Though, just
dear.
They say that every year, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of my earliest experiences of that was sitting that with my ex, watching that with my ex, and then just seeing all of the sexy boys come on, and just feeling very inferior at that point.
Inferior?
Yeah, just seeing all the
insecurities.
Have you seen those geezers on there?
The same with me. If I was to watch it with my ex, I'd have been, okay.
And then
this is what we're doing.
But really, I was like, see that,
which is great. Which is great.
Exactly. You're like a better person than all of us. Honestly.
Great.
And then my ex used to fuck with me as well. Like she knew that I didn't like that type of stuff. So when I pet girl would like take over, she go, whoa! And I'll be like, you know, like fuck this TV, turn it all off.
Yeah,
too much.
That's
them challenges in general. But
were you guys ever sensitive with who your exes followed on Instagram?
Yeah,
because that's what Love Island almost brings back out of me.
No, like for example, like for your other half, to follow someone, to basically subscribe to their life, innit? So if I can go on your Instagram and see that you're following 20 women with like donkey asses, then strings, and the content is just them twerking. What am I supposed to associate? Like, what am I supposed to go on this page and think that you're thinking?
Yeah.
You didn't say she was like a really nice lady.
That's a fact.
I used to get furious about stuff like that.
I never spoke up about it.
No, I'd speak up.
Like, okay.
Because it's embarrassing. You go on, you see, your boyfriend is following this twerk queen, and it's just her nyash for everyone to see. It's fucking embarrassing.
It's a bit wild, isn't it?
It's embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I had to speak up.
So it's more the fact that other people can see him following that account as opposed to him following that account.
You know what I did speak on? Sorry, it's not that. For me, it was, okay, cool, who you follow on Instagram, that's your business.
Yeah.
Like, it's your account, your personal, I guess, social media alone time, if you like. Your man cave online, okay? But it was when it's now your screensaver, or not sorry, no.
The mic can't do it.
The mic can't do it.
Because I see juicy in here.
For me, it was when it's your wallpaper. Like, okay, one of the girls is your wallpaper on your phone.
That's mad.
On your phone. I pick up, not that I'm going through it, but I pick up the phone.
That's deep.
That's when I was like, nah, man.
That's tough.
Nah, man. You know?
Yeah.
Nah. For me,
man.
especially when like with the
Instagram. Like, where's your mind at?
You know how Instagram used to be? Like, and I can just see a flurry of you liking pictures. Just all I see, everywhere. Us. The thing about it now, I could see, like, because I can't see it in my face, probably now I'd feel differently, but still it's like, why have you chosen to fill your feed with women like this? I'd rather like fully, I don't want to be that person that's like, I'd rather it was this person or that person, because really I don't have the right to choose who you follow. But as your other half, I'd like to think that you respect me enough to not think that following women that evoke these sexual feelings,
that's what it was more of.
Disrespectful.
Where's your mental?
Exactly.
Because this isn't matching the person I talk to.
Because I tell you,
or the person who, when I said, what do you look for in a woman? You never mentioned G-string. You never mentioned BBL or Chimbushi or, or stays in a bikini. You never. So for me, it's like,
yeah, no, it's getting juicy. And you know what? I'm an insider as a male. Like, I feel like I can answer some of these questions.
I mean,
if I'm to be following, like, say 20 men, it's just hunky, just
everyday briefs. My Calvins.
How will you really
And that's my wallpaper too.
My wallpaper, and I'm liking the picture in your face.
Get
out of here, man.
That's different.
So why is it different though? You see, and boys are like, like girls are, you just jealous, you just
like, I don't.
I'm thinking mentally, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about, it's not about me being like, other people can see this page. Yeah. Other people, whatever.
I don't really, that's not what I care about. Because I'm in a relationship with the individual that likes all of these things. I mean, not that you can't like it, but this is your content. This is your page. And I'm like, scrolling.
To talk to, where your mind's at when you do it. So I can just talk from my experience. I don't know if men relate or whatever, but I know what I'm like when I'm super in honeymoon mode with my missus or whoever I'm dating. And I know like when I'm in a bad place, like, fuck this relationship. I don't know how my mind works. When I'm in honeymoon mode, I'm not looking at none of these pages, none of that. Like anytime someone mentions a girl, I'm like, hey, dude, let's not talk about that right now. I've got a girlfriend at home, And when I'm in the other phase, then I'm a bit, like, what we talking about? Let me see. Oh, she's bad,
You see.
It's definitely like,
I see.
Like when you're in a lovey-dovey mode, like you're not even thinking about the girls, Yeah.
Man. Because I bring it up because that's like a fraction of what Love Island could do. I've never seen it with my partner, but Love Island, I can see if I was to watch it with someone who I'm not comfortable with right now anyway, like if I'm not 100% vulnerable with you right now, that would bring out those small insecurities that I could.
I feel like that's...
Because the moment you told me, I think X is cute, whoever X is, I'm thinking, okay.
Really?
Okay,
Is that how you feel for real?
For me, it's different.
For me, it would be like,
It used to be like that before, but now, like, I realize that when you're in a relationship, the person's going out with you because of like 100 reasons, And like B is just one of the 100. So no matter if they find like a handsome person who has like, even if they have a nice job, it's like there's a reason why you guys are connected, and there's like he has to tick like 97 other boxes before he can match me,
True.
So that's why I try to keep it in the back of my mind. Sometimes it's not easy. You have to remind yourself, boxes. But yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Anyway, it has been great having you.
Amazing. You made it.
We've got to bring you back. We have to bring you back.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So last time your social medias for the people and what new releases that you got coming out.
Or when the show is and where we can get
Avian City, Avian_City on all social media. We have a show coming up March 7th. Tickets gonna be released soon. Go on Avian City, wherever you can find us to get the details. Come see us perform. Love. Thank you for having us.
Woo!
Point blank period. Love. I can't wait to come back. Slap my lip.
Period.
Point blank period. We out. We love you guys.
Bye.
See you in the next episode. Bye.